it down. Put the cake down. You don't need no more. We will start off with 3 sticks of room temperature butter. You can do salted or unsalted. I happen to have salted butter. I also have 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese, and we will use the entire block. I'm now gonna add in 1 teaspoon of cream bouquet. If y'all could do me a favor and like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please definitely do so. Liking the video is free, and it definitely helps to push me through the algorithm. I'm also going to add some pure vanilla extract. If you know my channel, you know I love vanilla. Vanilla perfume, vanilla in my cold brew, vanilla in my regular coffee, vanilla in all my desserts. And so I'm always heavy-handed with vanilla. So I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons of vanilla, which I believe is equivalent to 1 tablespoon, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter extract as well. Teaspoon of that. The star of this maple pound cake, I have maple extract. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of that. 1 and 2. Maple extract smells so good. I have a pecan oil that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this entire bottle of pecan oil because I do plan on topping my cake with some pecans, and so I want to add that. And then, oh, that's my oven. I have my oven preheating to 315 degrees, and I'm just gonna add just a little drizzle of syrup. Now, this is not maple syrup. It doesn't say maple syrup, but I think it'll do. So I'm just gonna add, let's actually measure this out. I'm just gonna do a teaspoon of this syrup. I have 3 cups of sugar. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but it's 2 cups of white sugar and 1 cup brown sugar. You can see the brown sugar there at the bottom, but this is 3 cups of sugar, 2 cups white, and then 1 cup brown. And you can see the brown sugar there. All right, I'm going to mix this until our mixture is light and fluffy on high. I have, this is a Cuisinart stand mixer, and my high goes up to 12. And so I'll start it off slowly, and then eventually I'll pick it up to 12, and I'll show you what light and fluffy looks like at the end. Also, please make sure to use your spatula to scrape down the inside of the bowl throughout the process. Stop, scrape down the inside of the bowl, and it's been mixing now for about 2 minutes. Nowhere close to where we need to be. If you can still hear the sugar, you haven't mixed long enough, but just want to hit these sides, and this part of the process is done. And that's what we want our consistency to look like. It is nice and whipped and fluffy. I have 5 cracked eggs, also room temperature, and these are large eggs. We're gonna mix these in, wanna add them one at a time. And we will mix until the yolk has disappeared. And I'm mixing on my 4-speed. I'm gonna turn it up really quickly. Just to make sure that everything is well incorporated. We'll give it a quick stir. And the final part, believe it or not, very simple. I have 3 cups of Swan's Down cake flour. On the top, I have half a teaspoon salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to add this in slowly, approximately a cup at a time. If you prefer not to add salt, that's definitely okay, especially if you're using salted butter. But I use salted butter and salt, so... And if you notice, I'm not taking a long time to mix because we don't want to overwork the batter. Y'all know I hadn't baked a cake.
Wait a long periodically time.
In a periodically time. I baked a cake for Father's Day. My daddy wanted a strawberry cream cheese pound cake, so I baked him one of those, and I've done one of those on my channel before. So I didn't record that one, honestly. I didn't feel like, I haven't been in a cake baking mood. If y'all notice, I've been wanting to try all these other different recipes and just experimenting in the kitchen, but I want a maple pound cake, so here we are. Final cup. And you want to always start off mixing your flour slowly so all the dust doesn't fly up. You see how that's flying up? I don't know if you can catch that on camera. And I'm done. I'm now going to remove the mixing bowl off the stand and mix the rest by hand, and then we'll be ready to add to our Bundt pan. Mix the rest by hand. Mixing the rest by hand gives me control so that I don't overwork the batter, and it also allows me to get to the very bottom of the bowl just to make sure everything is mixed together. But really, this is mixed. This is good. I'm not gonna do any more with it. But look at that, you all. I tasted the batter. It is absolutely delicious. Now let's get it into our Bundt pan. And I have not used this Bundt pan in a while. This is my Nordic Ware anniversary pan. If you all can see that there, Nordic Ware. And this is their anniversary pan. I think this pan holds 12 to 16 cups, if I'm not mistaken. I ordered this off Amazon, and I'll have it linked below. I think this is a beautiful pan. Definitely a beautiful pan. And I haven't used it in a while, so I'm excited about using it. Before we put the batter into the pan, of course, we need to make sure that our pan is ready. I'm gonna use some pan baking spray, which works pretty well. I like it more than Baker's Joy, to be completely honest. This is what the inside of my Bundt pan looks like with the spray. And you can see I also sprayed the tube, coated it really well. And to add a little more texture, I'm gonna line the inside of my Bundt pan with sugar. So I have 1/4 of a cup white granulated sugar, and this will also help with the better release. Now, you may or not use the full 1/4 cup, but I will. So what I'll do now is you take it And that excess sugar, just allow it to coat the inside of the pan. Hopefully y'all can see this technique. Trying to get my camera angle just right so you all can see without making a mess. And that sugar will add a nice extra layer of texture, and it'll also help with a really smooth release. Hopefully my lighting isn't too bad. I have all of my blinds closed to keep it cooler in the house, especially with this oven on. This heat has just been out of this world. And once again, if you've made it this far into the video, please go ahead and consider liking the video. Definitely make sure that you have on your notifications. You hit that bell so that when I drop new content, you are alerted. And leave me a comment in the comment section. Have y'all tried a maple cake before? And if you do, what's your recipe? Let's share recipes in the comments. Some pro tips. What are you all doing with your maple cakes? All right, so now let's get it smoothed out. I'm gonna tap the bottom of the pan and on the sides to release the air bubbles. And I just want to just kind of smooth it out just a little bit on the top, just a tinch, okay? All right, so our cake is ready to go in the oven. It will bake at 315 degrees for about a full hour and a half. That's typically how long I like to bake mine, like long and slow with a lower temperature, because I notice that my oven, it gets really, really hot, so I have to watch it. Make sure you pay attention to your own oven and you know the temperature and the length at which to bake. But I am baking mine at 315 for an hour and a half, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, she is fresh out of the oven, and I'm gonna show you how to test your cake to make sure that it's completely done. Now you can use a skewer for this. I don't have one, so I just use a fork. And you see how my fork completely came out clean? You stick it down in the cake, and if it comes out clean, you know that your cake is finished. But I think we got us a tall one here. I'm gonna let it sit on this cooling rack for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll flip it out into the cake plate. But look at that, isn't she pretty? All right, so our cake has cooled right at about 15 minutes. So let's flip it out. Yes, and you see how easily, or do you hear how easily it flipped out? Ooh, yay. Look at that. Oh, it smells so good. And I don't know if you all can see, if you look up close, can you see the sugar? Like this on the edge, that white that you see on the edge, that's the sugar that we lined the Bundt pan with. Oh, this is going to be amazing. So I'm going to cover this back up with my food tent, and we're going to work on the glaze now. So I have confectioner's sugar, and we're just going to do 2 cups of the confectioner's sugar. So that's right at 2 cups. And this is going to be a simple glaze, y'all. I have my vanilla extract. Once again, you can put in as little or as much as you want. Adding your extracts to taste. Maple. I'm going to do this by the capful. Let's do one more. Again, I have my syrup. Now, this is not maple syrup, but I'm just going to add a touch of this in as well. We'll call that a tablespoon's worth. I'm gonna also add in heavy cream. Remember, with your liquids, add it in slowly, because if you're looking for a certain consistency, too much liquid will make it runny. And as you can see, I already have liquid in there from the syrup and the extract, so we gotta be careful with that. And I'm gonna add the heavy cream in by the tablespoon. So let's start off with, let's start off with 4. Oh, that smells good. And as you can see, that's not nearly thin enough. So we're gonna add in some more heavy cream. So far we're at 6 tablespoons. Not quite there. I'm actually gonna put the heavy cream away, and I'm gonna add in some milk.
He needs some milk.
And I just have some 2% milk here. I'm gonna also add that in by the tablespoon. I think this will, because you know, heavy whipping cream makes things super thick, and I want to thin it out. There we go. That's what I needed right there. Okay. And plus, heavy whipping cream is 50 calories per tablespoon. So this glaze already has 300 calories in it. Not that you're worried about calories if you're making a cake like this, but fun fact, that's the reason why I started baking cakes on my own to begin with, because I could count my calories. I knew exactly how much was in it. And because, you know, when you buy a slice of cake from the store or from a bakery, you know, you can guess, but you don't know how much sugar someone has put in it or how many eggs and so on and so forth. So it was really just a guessing game. And I've baked enough cakes now that, you know, my guessing game is pretty good. But to know specifically what I'm eating, I really make it myself, and it has done wonders for my health. And this is not something that gets eaten every day. I'll eat a slice of this, maybe 2, and then it'll get divvied out between my parents. They get all the good stuff. Okay, so this is a really good texture. We still got a few lumps and bumps in there, and that's okay. So I'll continue to mix this just a little bit more off camera. And if it has a few lumps in it, it's okay. Honestly, I don't care about that. But that's the consistency. You want it thick enough so that it adheres to the cake, but thin enough so that you can pour. It's a nice pourable consistency. So we'll let the cake we'll let the cake cool a little while longer. I'm going to also cover this with a tent. I'm going to wash some dishes. So this literally will be the last dish that I have to wash when I'm done. And then we will be ready for the taste test. And I haven't said this in a long time, but this is my favorite part. It's glazing the cake. I don't know what it is about pouring this glaze on the cake that I love so much, but I do. And y'all, I tasted this glaze. It's so doggone good. And if you make your glaze thick enough, then it's like having the coverage of an icing, but without all the work. I do have these pecan halves from Trader Joe's. They're unsalted and unroasted. Now, I could have salted and roasted them. I just didn't feel like it. I guess maybe I can add a few for a little razzle dazzle. I guess I could have at least put them all going in the same direction. So you'll get a little bit of that glaze in every bite. All right. So we have our maple pound cake with a maple glaze and pecans on top. Now let's do a taste test. So this is your trigger warning. If you have an aversion to styrofoam or plastic, this is your cue to tune out of the video now, because I'm not washing none of the dish, okay? So if you have an aversion to any of that, fast forward through me cutting through the cake and get on to the taste test. But otherwise, let's cut our cake. And I'm gonna cut this piece right here, and low key and on the highest of keys, my cake is so tender, period, you can cut through with a plastic knife anyway. So that's my cake. I mean, come on, y'all. Tender, tender, tender. I can't wait to bite into this. And that's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see I didn't cut my slice wide enough or thick enough, but let's cover this up and let's taste. Okay, so Lord, please bless this cake that I'm about to receive for the nourishment of my body. In Christ Jesus' name I pray, amen. I always like to start off with the crust. Oh my gosh, it's so moist. And I hadn't even tasted it yet and I already know it's moist. You see how it's just, I mean, it's falling apart. Lord help me. Oh. If y'all didn't think I still had it, I do. Ooh. Wow. I need y'all to have smell-o-vision. Can y'all? Baby. With that sugar glaze, OMG. This cake is literally melting in my mouth. Don't worry if you don't have no teeth. Baby, you don't need them. You don't need them. Y'all. If I couldn't say a word. If I couldn't say a word. If I couldn't say a word. You know I just wave my hand. It's getting late in the... Oh, excuse me, y'all, excuse me. Put this down, put it down. Put it down. Put the cake down. You don't need no more. You're done. Y'all. I woke up thinking about this cake. I was like, you know what, Ashley, you haven't baked a cake in a periodically time. And so we're going to make one that you want to make, not because someone has requested a specific flavor or, and I wanted to play around with some maple and maple glaze. And There is not one thing that I would change about that recipe, not one. Even down to the pecans. I tasted some just out of the bag. They're delicious. But, you know, if you choose to roast them, you can salt them and maybe coat them in a little brown sugar. Put them in the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes at 350 degrees and let them roast, or, you know, just let them bake until they're fragrant. And I've done that before. I didn't feel like doing any of that. It's not necessary. That maple flavor is really, really coming through. That little touch of the syrup that I added is really, really good. Like I said, it wasn't a maple syrup, but it was unnecessary. It tastes like maple syrup. And because I have the maple extract, y'all, this cake is 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Top tier. Chef's kiss. Don't walk, but run to the grocery store and get the ingredients and make this cake. I'm gonna keep it a thou wow with you. Y'all need to go ahead and make this one. And especially, I hate to say this, it's August and we're getting ready to move into the fall months. Y'all, they already have fall things out on the shelves, you know, preparing for the fall holidays. Now, I don't care if I want a particular flavor cake, I don't care what the season is. If I want it, you know, it's 90 degrees today. I wanted a maple cake, I made a maple pound cake. But this is an incredible fall recipe if you're into like the pumpkin spices and the things of that nature moving into the cooler weather. Please try this recipe. Y'all, we have come to the end of another video, and I thank you so much for spending just a little bit of your time here with me today. If you have made it this far in the video, please definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year, and we are very, very close to 6,000. And so please definitely consider subscribing to the channel. If you just keep coming back and forth and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting on? Make it official. Go ahead and commit to the channel, and I will be so appreciative to have you here. Also, definitely like the video. Just a simple thumbs up helps to push me through the algorithm. It is a quick, free, and simple way to push my videos out there, and just to let me know that you're there. And then if you want to take it a step further and make a comment, please do so. I make it a habit to try to respond to, and I don't try, I respond to every comment. And if you've commented and I've missed your comment, charge it to my head and not my heart, because I really do want to make sure that I touch base with anyone who has left me a comment, anyone who is supporting the channel. I thank you again. My name is Ashley Richardson, and oh, you all, I know I haven't baked a cake in a long time. I just didn't feel like baking cakes. If you've noticed on any of my other videos, I've been into really trying other recipes, experimenting in the kitchen. You know, I'm just not a one-trick pony over here. You might get a video about perfume. I might be trying a viral recipe that I've seen on TikTok or on other social media platforms. You just never know. And so if you haven't had the opportunity to check out any of my other videos, I've done a smothered corn, I've done a marinated cheese, I've made my own pizza, I've done baked chicken wings, just what I have a taste for. And I went through this cake phase where all I wanted to do was bake cake, and I think I baked so much I baked myself out of the phase. But today I really wanted some cake, and for all of you all to all of you all who have subscribed to my channel for the cakes, today you get a cake. But you know, tiptoe on over to some of these other videos and see if you like them. If not, no worries, no pressure. I'm not gonna pressure you. You know, you just keep coming back for the cakes. And my name is Ashley Richardson. That's Miss Richardson to you if you are a student watching. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. Bye.